Hey everybody, it's Ben here from the Bonehead podcast and welcome to Star Player Spotlight. We are covering all the star players from the Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook, looking at their stats, their skills, their teams and their special abilities. And today we have got the big daddy himself. We have got Morg and Thorg. So we'd normally talk through what teams a star player was eligible for at this point, but it's much easier with Morg to say who he's not playing for. So Morg will play for any team that does not have the Sylvanian Spotlight special rule. At the moment that means Necromantic and Undead are the only two teams that cannot take him. Historically that's included Vampires and Khemri as well, but they don't exist just now, so come on PDF for the forgotten teams. Okay, so let's have a look at Morg and Thorg's stats. So what exactly are you getting for your team with this big guy, the biggest of big guys? So Morg and Thorg is movement 6, strength 6, agility 3+, passing 4+, and armor value 11+. And he comes on at a reasonable 340. So some of you who watched the first edition of this Morg and Thorg star players will realise that we got that ever so slightly wrong. Bit of a typo. He's actually way cheaper than we first thought. So skills wise comes with block, so strength 6 block for 340k. Let's not bury the lead in any way, shape or form. 340 is a huge amount of money, but it is very affordable. So if you've looked at our rosters series, you'll know that there's a couple of stunty teams who we've actually said this is the roster you want to take and you're going to get 300k for inducements. 340 is not a lot more. So actually snotlings, halflings, goblins will struggle, but snotlings, halflings and ogres, if you drop 340 to 2 ogres and some change. Is Morg and Thorg worth 2 ogres? I don't think so, especially with Loner 4+, but in a snotling team he's definitely affordable. So historically you could have run Morg and Thorg with a bunch of linemen. Now with the snotling team, actually you can run a snotling team supported by Morg and Thorg, which is pretty exciting. Anyway, back to Morg himself for any of your other teams. So strength 6 block, got Loner 4+, mighty blow +2. So this guy murders things. He's one of the only few examples of mighty blow +2 we've seen in Blood Bowl 2020. And it's massively going to come in handy. And he's got throw teammate with no nega traits and a passing stat of 4+. So big thrower, this guy. He has also got thick skull. So armor 11+ with thick skull means that if you do end up paying 340k, he is going to stick around. Well, that's assuming they can even get a good block against him, because strength 6 is massive. It is one of the best skills in the game. Strength 6 is a great skill. So movement, he's got it. Agility 3+ isn't bad. If you need him to dodge, he can do so. It is going to be a gamble. Again, we're going to come back to that. Loner 4+, meaning that if it goes wrong, it's staying wrong. But as long as you're taking that into consideration, what you get here is, like I said, the biggest of big guys. And at 340, he's come down from 430, which is the most expensive player. He is now marginally more achievable, and you may even be able to run him in a league. So he comes with a star player special ability, the Ballista. Let's have a look at the rules for that. So once per game, if Morg fails the passing ability test for making a pass action or a throw teammate action, you may re-roll the d6. So he's got mega pass, basically. Once per game he gets the pass skill or the throw teammate version of the pass skill. So if you want to go in any way, shape or form with a throwing offense, you've got Morg here. Okay, passing 4+ itself is not bad, guys. I mean, for a throw teammate, it's reasonable. And the Ballista means that once per game you get to just re-roll it if it goes wrong. Plus, he is an absolute murder house. So on top of that, you know, he blocks, he murders, he's got mighty blow +2. Throw teammate is going to be key. Now that price 340. Before we move on to anything else, Ripper. I'm sure you all remember Ripper is one of the stars that is missing from the Blood Bowl 2020 rules that they're all hoping is going to appear. He was, how much was Ripper, guys? 280, 290? Morg and Thorg is 340 now. So we may have found a bit of a replacement here for Ripper. So you can take Grack and Crumbleberry for 250, but if you also want to punch face, you've got Morg and Thorg. Let's have a look at the miniatures. So let's talk miniatures. Obviously, we've got on the screen right there the Forge World miniature from Morg. So it's a lovely, lovely model. Got quite a big head, but it's a really detailed sculpt. It'll be interesting to see if we get a new one released, because it looks like they're redoing some of the Blood Bowl star players. And on the downside, it is a Forge World piece, so it's going to be £20+ for the model and postage. I do have a pretty good alternative for you though. And yes, it's once again Windsor Chog. So if you've watched our YouTube 7 series, you will know my guy Zazzles. This is Ian Warhanam Hannam's painted version, Zizzles. This is the Windsor Chog Ogre. And I think the Windsor Chog Ogre is about £15, so about £18 with postage. So probably about £5 to £10 cheaper than the Forge World variant. It's a really lovely model and will double up as an ogre. So if you don't want to go the Forge World route, you can use any ogre really. Any big guy could be a very appropriate Morg. This is my favourite ogre model out there in total. Yeah, absolutely. And quite frankly, if you don't have an ogre and you're planning on running Morg as your only ogre, there's nothing wrong with the Blood Bowl ogre. It's a pretty lovely model. I'm not sure there's anything left to say about Morg and Thorg. He is an absolute house. 4+ loan is going to hurt. 380k is really going to hurt. But as far as your opponent's concerned, Strength 6 Mighty Blow +2 block is also seriously going to hurt. So if you've got Morg and you can get him making a block for 16 turns of the game, he is definitely going to apply 400k's worth of inducements. That's why he is the biggest, baddest star player out there. Well, now Bob Bifford's gone actually. So definitely Morg and Thorg. Big scary with reasons. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Morg in Blood Bowl 2020 and of the other star players we've got. And that'll be it for today. And join us again soon for another star player spotlight. Thanks very much.